We start off today on the program. Well, we'll be going over to Abuja studios where Issa Aremu, who is the Vice President of Nigeria Labour Congress, joins us. Well, Issa, morning and thank you for joining us today. Well, you're quite busy these days with the national conference and today is Workers' Day. So, what's the plan for today?
Well, good morning. And I want to say Happy May Day to all of you.
Thank you.
I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, we can.
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, excellent. I want to say Happy May Day to all of you and through your medium to extend fraternal May Day greetings to all our members throughout the country as well as our working allies throughout the whole world who are watching Channel TV. Of course, we are quite delighted that we are witnessing another May Day. As a matter of fact, this is the 33rd edition of May Day in Nigeria. You know, the May Day celebration started as far back as 1981 in our country. Of course, if you look at it globally, the May Day celebration, you know, is as old as close to 123 years ago, because it started in 1888 when the Chicago workers were shot and gunned down in America for demanding for 8 hours a day, working a day. So we are excited that we are part of the global international workers movement that is celebrating today, and we've won that right to celebrate May Day as a public holiday in Nigeria. It's a day that we are going to have a series of rallies. You know, the major rally we hold in Abuja this morning, where both the two centers, Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, ably led by their respective president, Comrade Abducted Omar for NLC, and then Comrade Kagama for TUC. And we are holding this rally nationwide, in Lagos in particular, the major industrial city, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, Kaduna, as well as all the states of the Federation where we have our state councils. And this year's May Day is under the theme of building sustainable peace and unity, you know, for sustainable national development. And I think you will agree with me that more than ever before, the issue of peace it cannot be left alone now to the government alone. We are also committed to that. Today, I want to use this opportunity to say our heart is with 200 Chibok students who have been criminally abducted by unknown forces. These are just not students that we have to reduce to statistics, whether 200, 250. These are potential workers, potential students, potential nurses, potential doctors, potential workers who have been in the factory but they have been rudely denied education, and not only they have been denied their freedom. So we are going to devote today largely to add our voice to the forces of peace, and above all, especially women who have come out, you know, in their large number to demand for the release of these students, and compelling our government to be on duty and guarantee security. Because 1999 Constitution is clear, the primary welfare of any government is security and welfare of the citizens. And now we are combining economic insecurity, social insecurity with physical insecurity. So this May Day is taking place at a time of great challenges for us in trade union movement and also as citizens of Nigeria.
It forms the theme of this year's celebration.
Yeah, as I've told you, the theme for this year's celebration is based on the fact that increasingly our country, hitherto known for peace, tranquility, is increasingly being known for avoidable, preventable violence. I mean, peace means absence of violence and absence of war. But now we are having serious violence, and if you like it, unofficial war in some part of the country. You know that just about 3 weeks ago, or about 4 weeks ago now, here in Abuja, there was criminal bombing of motor park. And that attack, whoever is responsible, can be said that it was deliberately directed against working people, because it took place at the time workers were about to go to work, and most of the victims are workers. If you also look at where we've got series of the violence all over the country, it's impacting seriously on the life of the working people. I know that in Kano, for instance, some private companies, at the height of the violence, they had to shut down, have to reduce working hours, and when they do so, they also reduce the workforce. So when you combine infrastructural crisis, lack of electricity, general policy inconsistency, and then you now combine physical insecurity, I think industries have been endangered, working people are even being endangered. I'm talking of direct attack to our lives. So I think we need to add our voice to the issue of peace and unity of our country, because without peace there can't be development. Although we also believe that peace has to be rooted in social justice and fairness to everybody, because we are also not calling for peace of the graveyard, we are calling for peace that is rooted in justice for Nigerians in particular.
Now, you've talked about the theme, and it's around peace and development and security. One wonders...
Peace and national unity as panacea for sustainable development.
Now, the question is, how does your theme translate into action? Is it just about speeches? What do you look to see from the themes that you pick each year for the Workers' Day celebration?
Yeah, first, I think we first on the issue of unity, you will see it throughout the country today, whether in Abuja and in Lagos. I think the Nigerian working people have shown that we are not divided people. Today you see us in unity. We are not north or south. We are not Christian or Muslims. We are not any of the geopolitical zones. We are Nigerian workers. And if you also look at the global picture, we are global workers. We are workers of the world. So we want to also, through these symbolic demonstrations of solidarity, matches in the same world, we want to show that there is strength in unity of the working people. Of course, as we are united, we also want to say that this unity should be for prosperity, not for poverty. And this gives us opportunity to articulate all the problems that are facing the Nigerian people. We've just rebased the GDP of Nigeria. We are excited that Nigeria is now ahead of South Africa. But you also know that this GDP, as big as it is, almost over 500 billion naira, GDP, it has not translated to real job creation for our people. In fact, workers are endangered species. Increasingly, factories are closing down. Many students who have left schools, they have 40 degrees, MA, BSc, PhD, but they lack the real degree, which is JOB, jobs. So today we are using today to raise the banner of the need for job-led growth, not jobless growth. Job-led growth. Growth that translates to job creation. And secondly, we also want to make a point that it has to be decent job that is well paid for, with minimum wage guaranteed for those who are, who are below, and the right for collective bargaining for us to increase our wages, and above all, jobs that are pensionable, in the true sense of the word. In recent time, we have faced crisis of life after work, in which those who work for this country, the working men and women, some of them could not get their pension as I went due. We also have cases of pension thieves, who have looted the especially public pension scheme. Today we use to add our voice for sustainable pension reform, and happily the pension reform of 2004 has created contributory pension scheme, and the new bill has just amended it. So today we also make a case to strengthen that reform, because now we have a new pension reform in which workers now have their PFA, where workers have their what they call PIN numbers. So essentially, this gives us basis to make a case for unity in prosperity, not unity in poverty. We also want to show that the rich are getting richer, very few ones, majority of people are getting poorer. Today is the time for proper income distribution. Labor creates wealth, but labor must also be part of sharing of this wealth. in a way that will make our country more equitable. If you know the basis of some of this violence, is because many have lost out in this economic race, in this rat race, in the neoliberal policy we are presenting, which we say market forces, survival of the fittest, and in our own case, survival of the wicked, and the smartest, and the corrupt. So we want to use the opportunity to raise that point in a way that, since we are engaging with the president in Abuja, the president of the Federal Republic will be there, President Goodluck Jonathan. Of course, in all the states, we expect the governors to all be there. So it gives us direct opportunity to connect with those people we've elected so that they know the challenges are in our hand. Of course, we also use it to acknowledge some of the gains that we have made. Because as I told you, we have challenges, but we know we have also made considerable gains, to defend our rights. One of the gains is the fact that we are doing May Day today. Don't forget that some part of the world, some workers cannot even come out to demonstrate because they are still in bondage. They don't have right to unionization. We are excited that we have won that right and we have sustained it. So we itemized some of the gains we've recorded. We've recorded minimum wage, 18,000, although there's a challenge of implementation in some states. But the fact that we've improved on it from where we are coming from shows that we've made some progress. Of course, above all, we also make a point that jobs are getting very precarious. What I mean here is that there is a lot of casualization, especially in some private sectors. As we are driving for foreign investment, I think we need to look at the quality of this investment. There are also foreigners who are setting up one-man shops, called factories. I hope we will not repeat what's happening in Bangladesh. The Rena fire disaster in which some workers were killed. So we need to make sure our labor laws are enforced so that there's minimum protection for the working people in this country.